Hey y'all, let's make delicious protein ice cream that per pint has less than 2 grams of sugar and only has about 240 calories. And that's if you eat the whole entire pint. And I'm going to show you how. Right now, I'm going to insert a video of me scooping up the final ice cream product so that you can see that it really does have the consistency of normal ice cream. And the flavor that I like to make the best is a mixture of caramel and cafe latte, which tastes like coffee. It does have a little caffeine in it, but I think it tastes very similar to Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream, and it's a delicious treat. So personally, I'm sugar-free, and I still want to have a sweet treat. I feel like should be able to have a dessert just like everybody else. And also, this particular treat helps me get protein in. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my protein, and I have found that by doing this ice cream in the Ninja Creami fits the bill. So I have got right here 2 of the pint cups that come with the Ninja Creami machine. And I have put in here my personal go-to flavor combination, which is a carton or almost a carton of Premier Protein caramel and Premier Protein cafe latte, which has caffeine in it. I love these 2 together, and there's no measuring. You just pour in here at the same time till you get up to the stop line. So you can pour them actually at the same time, or you can pour one in and then the other end. But as long as you're filling not past the line that's on the cup, you're good to go. Now, Premier Protein makes a lot of yummy flavors. They have chocolate peanut butter. Of course, they have vanilla. And they have cake batter. And in the wintertime, they have pumpkin spice. I think they have all kind of fun flavors. And some people actually prefer the taste of this one, which is the Fairlife. I also am going to show you, I tend to put a little heavy cream in mine, but keep in mind this does add calories. It's 50 calories per tablespoon. So if you're counting calories, you may not want to add this, and it's okay if you don't. It's optional. And then here's the trick. You definitely want to get sugar-free pudding mix. Now, my friend Anna Marie Bonner featured her making her protein on her page, and I'm going to try to link her in this as well. She does hers a little differently. She uses milk and protein powder, which you could absolutely do. If you don't want to purchase these cartons, you don't have to do that. I just keep my bottom drawer of my refrigerator full of these protein shakes in the carton. The sugar-free protein ice cream needs a stabilizer of some sort. Recipes call for cream cheese or cream, but I have found that using the sugar-free instant pudding, and my favorite flavor is cheesecake. This is my go-to flavor, but recently I found sugar-free butterscotch pudding, and I used that, and it was really, really delicious. So you can experiment. They make banana pudding mix, white chocolate, but for me, I need it to be sugar-free. You can choose regular if you want, but the sugar-free is delicious, and it is what stabilizes the finished product and gives it that ice cream texture. So I'm going to use 1 tablespoon, doesn't have to be perfect, but 1 tablespoon of this instant pudding powder in each pint cup. And I also have already put in my sweetener of choice. So I like to do 1 packet of whatever your favorite sweetener is. Just put that in, also optional. You may find you don't need that. So the important thing is you want to make sure you really mix this up. So just to recap, I've got whatever my flavors of protein shake that I want. For me personally, I'm using cafe latte and caramel. I've got 1 sweetener packet per pint, which is optional. Don't have to use that. And then 1 tablespoon of whatever instant pudding flavor that you prefer. For me, it's sugar-free cheesecake. So you want to get this really, really mixed up very well. And then you also do, I'm making 2 at a time, but I'll set this one aside. So you're going to put the lid on this, and the good thing about these is they stack. So they stack, and with the lids on them, you can stack them and put them in your freezer. Just make sure that they're on a level surface. That's really important. And you want to make sure that when you finish eating 1 of your pint cups of ice cream, whether you eat the whole thing in a sitting, as I have been known to do and most often do, or if you're just eating part of it, 2 important things. You want to level it off to make sure it has a level surface. So if you're the only one eating out of this and you're just going to stick it right back in the freezer, before you put the lid on, make sure your surface is level. And if you're making it for the first time from an empty cup, make sure you sit it on a level surface. So you're going to make sure it is frozen in the freezer for at least 12 hours. I make so many at a time, and I pull out 1, and then I make it and put it right back in. So I always have several that are frozen in the freezer. But even if you freeze them on a level surface, they're going to hump up. I don't know the scientific reaction of what makes that happen, but you see the way that's humped up on top. So when you get ready to process it, it's important to know that creamy machine does not make the ice cream. It processes the frozen batter, and the way the blades work, it turns it into the texture that you saw at the beginning of the video. So before I put this on my creamy machine, I want to make sure that I chop off this humped up part of the ice cream. So I'm going to do that now. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll look something like this. And now we're going to put the lid on it, the lid that comes with the machine that has the blade inside, and then we're going to process it in the machine. My husband reminded me, and I'm glad he did, to tell you that you can use the Ninja Creamy machine to make all sorts of things like regular, delicious homemade ice cream that's full fat, full sugar, full everything. And you can also do what my sister likes to do. She just takes a banana and mushes it up in the bottom, a couple of bananas, and mushes it up in here and freezes it, and then she has banana gelato, which she absolutely loves. My mom likes to do a can of peaches with the juice and everything, and she freezes it overnight, and then she's got peach gelato. So you can do so many things. You can make milkshakes, all kinds of things with the machine, but it has been a lifesaver for me because I've lived on this protein ice cream for probably 2 years or more. All right, let's go process it. Okay, now I'm going to take it off the machine and take the lid off so you can see what I mean by the powdery texture. All right, this is processed one time. I'm going to take the lid off and see how it's powdery. Okay, we don't want that. So what I do is I just jam this spoon handle in there, make a little tunnel, and now I'm going to pour the cream in. Again, you could use whatever kind of liquid you want. All right, I'm going to pour this in. So I've filled it all the way up with cream. I'm going to put the lid back on, and we're going to process it on respin. All right, so it's processed a second time, and I'm going to take the lid off and show you what the consistency should look like when you take the lid off. So good. So yummy. Let's go scoop it up. Now, I never scoop it out because I eat it right out of the pint cup. But it's scoopable just like regular ice cream, and it's delicious. Okay, for counting calories and you've filled your pint cup up to the fill line, you'll use about 1.5 cartons of the Premier Protein or whatever your protein of choice is. But for Premier Protein, these have 160 calories and 30 grams of protein each. So this is going to give me 240 calories and 45 grams of protein in 1 pint of ice cream. I'm going to add another 15 calories because I'm using 1 tablespoon of sugar-free instant pudding mix. Y'all don't forget, if you're counting calories, you got to count all of them, all your sources of calories. I'm not counting calories, but I just want to make you aware of how many there are in this. If you're adding whipping cream, which I do, that adds 50 calories per tablespoon, so don't forget that, but I'm not worried about that. As long as it's sugar-free, I'm fine. Y'all, cut out sugar. It'll make you feel better. Really, it will.